What's up, guys, and welcome to another video of DevTalks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering and technology-wise. And in this video, Microsoft just did some crazy layoffs once again. It pains me to really see this, and it pains me for everybody who gets involved in this and everything. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
Welcome back. What you're seeing there shows Microsoft. They're down about 0.5%. News came out this morning that they're laying off roughly 9,000 employees. Now, while that cut is less than 4% of its global workforce, you have to put it in context with the other cuts it's made over the course of the past year, including the 6,000 that was announced back in May.
That's insane. Like, if you really look at this, right, and we look at all of these timelines here, every single year they're laying off crazy amounts of people. And in this year, May, they laid off 6,000. They laid off 6,000 in May. They laid off 300 in June. Another 9,000 just recently. 650 in September. June last year, another 1,000. The January the year prior, 1,900 and 10,000 the year prior of that. Coming out of COVID, when they realized the overhiring and stuff. When is this really actually going to end, I ask you? And the crazy part about this includes Xbox too. And there's another thing that I want to talk on about Xbox alone, because Xbox kind of deserved it. In a sense, I really don't say people deserve it, but in some cases they do. If you really suck at your job, really, honestly. We'll get more to that later in the video, but this chart, this is why I want to cover this, because this chart, it shows you how many people that they're laying off and the timelines of it. And this is all after COVID. This is insane. This is part of this has to do because of AI. Part of this has to do because of efficiencies and other things. And I saw another part of this is like targeting middle managers and stuff, which is another thing I want to get to. But let's get back to the news and what they're trying to say.
And then when you compare it to the other tech layoffs this year, it is the largest workforce reduction yet. Our Steve Kovac is here to discuss more on just what it means for one of the top three biggest companies in America and maybe the world at this point.
And I'll give you even more context here. So 15,000-ish so far layoffs this year at Microsoft. Wow. That's not even their biggest layoff. The biggest layoff was 18,000 back in 2014 or 15 when they basically got rid of the Nokia acquisition and let go all of those employees. So that was kind of a special thing. But it's approaching that level of and what Microsoft tells us is this isn't targeted at one specific group or one specific type of employee. It's not performance based. This is mostly targeting, or in a large part targeting, middle managers, something we've heard so much from the big tech companies over the last couple of years, making things more efficient and so forth. One thing not mentioned, at least so far, is artificial intelligence and the role that plays in there. Now, we've heard something like, people are going to be asked to use more technology and make themselves more efficient that way. But as far as artificial intelligence, I don't even think it's good enough to replace middle managers yet. But we have heard from Microsoft up to 30% of the code written at Microsoft is being written by artificial intelligence. And as far as some divisions we're hearing that are getting hit, gaming is a big one. There's a lot of chatter going on right now. Some big games and projects have been canceled. Xbox has not exactly been a huge growth story after they made that big Activision acquisition a couple years ago.
And it is about gaming. And the reason why I tell you it's not, he said a lot of stuff that's kind of BS and I don't agree with. The first thing, manager point, right? The first thing I want to get to is the middle manager point. I want to mention the middle manager point because he said AI is not good enough for covering middle managers. And honestly, middle management is, a lot of these companies realizing, is it's not needed. You don't need a middleman. The problem with a middleman is because thoughts and stuff gets too construed. When you keep going through multiple levels and you have to go through multiple channels to get down to a team and then go all the way back up, it makes the work so much longer to get. It ties up what needs to get done. It messes up the language that gets used when you put it in. It's like playing a game of telephone. It's not efficient for any companies. When you have too much management, it's actually extremely bad. Believe it or not, when you have too much management, it is extremely bad. You don't want to hire too many levels of management because when you start playing telephone, business gets messed up. It does. And that's not even a thing about AI. It's like hey, we're not getting the right thing out to people. Maybe they have too many managers and they don't need as many teams anymore. Who knows? Or they can consolidate teams. Because how many people can one manager actually truly manage? Like, what's the number that one person can truly manage efficiently? And what's that number? Does anybody know? I think it depends on the manager's skill set. I think certain people can run teams of 20, some can only run teams of 5. It's too much. It is literally too much to the point that it just becomes unneeded at a point of time. Literally. And I'm just saying that, just to be honest, and where we're going from and things in that angle and whatnot, it is way too much playing telephone with those middle managers. And that's why they're getting laid off. I would hate to be a middle manager. I would want to be a director of an org or just, yeah, it would be hard. Like, of course, I would have to go through that kind of managerial point at some time if I wanted to be a director, but I would rather be a director than a middle manager. And then even sometimes another position I would want to be in a company is a VP. Because certain directors can do what the VP does, and the company can see that and just ask for that director to do a little bit more work. I mean, it's so serious. I talk to people, I talk to directors, I've talked to VPs, I've talked to a CEO. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to how these decisions are made in that aspect. I know what it comes to when it people getting laid off and why they're getting laid off in the managerial part. And they said they're not targeting one group, thousands. I forget the exact number of Xbox people that got laid off, but it was a lot of people. I'm not joking you. Actually, let's see if I can real quick number of Xbox employees laid off. Out of the 9,000 employees, yeah, I think I saw it on Twitter. Um, I feel like it was a lot of, 50% of Xbox user research team laid off. Multiple Call of Duty studios hit. 50% turn 10 laid off. These are all part of the Xbox counts and stuff like that. So I don't know the exact numbers of it. It was 9,000 all across. It was about 2,000 or so Xbox employees that were laid off, and that's because Xbox is trash. I seen some of those employees who got laid off talk on Twitter. They used to be on Blue Sky. I'm not even going to get into that nonsense right now because their morals, them AAA games, the stuff that they put into these games, gamers don't want to play. They don't like it. They attack the gamers who play their video games. And it's all a bunch of nonsense and it's crap. It's literally crap. They make crap games. They don't know who their target audience is. They attack their target audiences and they haven't been doing good. Overall, a lot of these game industries haven't. I've seen a lot of gaming studios actually close or get messed up recently this week because enough is enough. And this is one of the things about capitalism is when the actual consumers had enough and they don't buy your stuff no more and your sales drop, they're going to make changes. They're going to hire different types of people with different mindsets. They're going to go out and switch the projects up. They're going to go out and give you what you want. Stop with all this fairy tale bullcrap out here and trying to be inclusive to everything and just make the damn game and make it fun. Like literally, though, yes, the other 7,000 are separate across a bunch of other orgs, but I bet you it wasn't as a collective as large of an org. Xbox and their gaming division was the largest group because of that, and it's trash. It's because it is literally trash. What they've been doing has been trash. I've seen some good stuff come out of them, but other things, it's not gonna be good, yo. They need to get layoffs because of the portable device. That's not even gonna work. They should have never even spent the R&D on that. Honestly, they should have never. Focus on the AR gaming aspect of it. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm actually really curious to what you guys all have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also, don't forget, you can always send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. Links and everything are in the description down below. Reach out to me with any suggestions or anything that you would like me to react to. Without further ado, peace and see y'all next time.